that I could shower her with accolades, as you will be doing this evening, for an extraordinary career in public service as one of the finest lobbyists that ever walked the terrazzo in the state capitol. And I wanted to just say a few words. I would have stayed for dinner, but I am actually celebrating my 9th wedding anniversary tonight. Angels Camp, can you imagine? So I drove all the way down. I had no idea it was so far away. And I'm going to drive all the way back. But I want you to know how powerful you are. I think you know that. But don't doubt for a moment when the Older Women's League speaks that we listen. You are a powerful force because you know what? Everyone has a mom. Every one of those members in the House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate and here in the state capitol has a mom. And whether they're still living or not, they hear her voice. And so we have such a long way to go yet. And I know sometimes you get tired, but I want you to appreciate how effective you are. Social Security is not going to change. We are not going to allow Social Security to be... When I think about what my colleagues on the other side of the aisle are attempting to do with both Social Security by privatizing it and creating vouchers for Medicare, it will be the most profound effect on the senior citizens in this country that we have seen since before the 1930s, because it will instantly, overnight, impoverish seniors in America, and we aren't going to let that happen. And, you know, we celebrated the 75th anniversary, the birthday of Social Security in August, and I went throughout my district and had big sheet cakes at every senior center, and I talked about Social Security, and I talked about how there is such misinformation that is intentionally put out about Social Security because of this effort to want to privatize it. And privatize it is really just another way of giving Wall Street more money to screw around with. Excuse my language, but that's exactly what it is. So, the fix we need for Social Security is quite simple. You lift the cap at $106,000, just like Medicare. There's no cap on Medicare. Why should there be a cap on Social Security? Yay! You know, I don't think Oprah Winfrey should be paying the same amount of Social Security tax that I pay. I think she should pay her percentage, which would be, I guess it's 6%, except she owns her business, so maybe it's 12%, I don't know. But in any case, it's very important for us to have Social Security, not just for you and not just for me, but for our kids. They've got to believe that Social Security is going to be around for them. Now, the baby boomers, of which I am one, are, you know, the big bubble in the Social Security system. Social Security is, right now, perfectly funded until 2037. And what happens in 2037 is that the baby boomers that come into the system, and there are a lot of us, are going to double the number of people on Social Security by 2030. So we have got to accommodate that shift, and you can accommodate that shift by just lifting the cap on Social Security taxes for those making over $106,000, so that all of our income is taxed for Social Security purposes, pure and simple, just like all of our income is taxed for Medicare. And then we move forward. So, that's my message to you. Take it home, communicate it to everyone. Convey the extra surplus that exists in Social Security is invested in U.S. Treasury bonds for a reason, so that we can get some interest on it. And, you know, I'm also the beneficiary of Social Security, and I'm not yet 65. But I'm receiving Social Security benefits right now. And we also need to remember that Social Security is also there for the disabled and those widows who have children. And many of you may remember that I have 2 children, One of them is 16. My husband was killed in an automobile accident, my first husband, when I was pregnant with my second child. So today, she receives Social Security benefits. And let me tell you, during the darkest days of her early life, when I was a single mom with 2 kids and financially distraught, Social Security was a lifeline. So Social Security is all about how we as a nation care for all of our people. So with that, thank you all. It's been a pleasure being with you.